Welcome back, everyone. We're here in New Barktown. We just got a call from Professor Elm, who has something for us. It's the ticket for the SS Aqua, as he will just be saying. Now, it's not quite worth catching Pokemon in Kanto because our team is much higher level. So, we can head back to Olivine City. I will see you there, and we'll be ready to board the ship. Here we are in Olivine Harbour. The last time we were here, we were fishing for Pokemon. This time, we're heading on the SS Aqua over the seas to Kanto. The first time you travel on the SS Aqua, there are unique trainers. There are set days on which the ship will travel between Kanto and Johto. I'll have to make sure I refresh my memory. I think it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday is Johto to Kanto, and the other lot is the other way around. Anyway, I'm going to be trying to use Sunny for once. She needs a bit of time in the spotlight, and so does Gibson. Exactly. Oh, hang on. And there's an old man rushing around. His granddaughter is missing. I can understand how frightening that must be. So this is somebody else's cabin. We're just happily wandering around in here. So who do we have in here? There is a man. That did not come out right, dude. That's really not the right thing to say to people. I'm a little worried about that. Alright, well, let's see how Sunny goes against Sandslash. We'll pop Leech Seed on. Once it's finished using Slash. Okay, critical hit. Level 37, we can evolve her because then she will actually know Sleep Powder. Poison Sting is super effective. 2 critical hits in a row. We get a little bit of health back. Not doing a lot of damage. At least we'll be able to heal up, but I need some levels in. 3 in a row! And poison, just to add insult to injury. I'll have to use a super potion if I wanted to get through this one. That's really, really nasty. So yeah, it's basically a 1 in 16 chance of getting a critical hit, I think. So yeah, pretty rare odds to get 3 in a row. So what are we up against next? Golem? I don't know if Sunny's going to be able to handle that without a grass move. So yeah, I'm going to change. Gibson, you didn't get as much time to shine as the others. You still did an alright job, but it's your turn now. And we unleash a devastating earthquake. Exactly how you can get away with using Pokemon moves and not sinking the boat is a big question. So let's get to our cabin and heal Sunny. Let's see, ours is over here where this crewman is waiting. We have a PC where we can store items if we need to, and this rest will heal our team. It won't do anything for the story progression. However, if you rest there when you're travelling on a regular voyage, you'll arrive instantly, basically. So we have nothing in here. We're still wandering into other people's cabins. So where else do we have to look around? More cabins here. And I presume that this guy is a fire breather, which means that Sunny is going to have a hard time. I'm not interested in fried eggs. Well, against coughing I've got an advantage. So we can go with this. And let's see how we do. Taken down in one. Nice work, Sunny. She should hopefully level up fairly quickly with all these. Flareon, I'll keep Sunny in for the experience. I probably should have given her the experience share. It works in a slightly janky way in these games. Gibson. It divides the experience, and I think it can be a bit awkward in that, but what it does, rather than giving the experience as one lot, it'll sort of give you half and then half again. If you have the Pokemon holding the experience share in battle. I think this was changed for all future appearances of the item. At least when it was a regular held item rather than the ridiculously busted one. To be honest, I didn't actually use the experience share in my playthrough of X and Y the first time because I thought it was going to work like the experience all. That ridiculous item you gave to a Pokemon in Generation 1, and if it battled, it divvied up the experience between every member of your team, which meant a lot of button mashing. I was very surprised to find out how potent it actually was, but I didn't really have that much challenge getting through the game without it. Again, it's an option, you can switch it off, but it does prove handy sometimes if you're trying to evolve Pokemon by level. So the Fire Breather is down. And we can talk to a sailor. Still no one here. Wander around and steal their stuff. No items in here, sadly. And we have some twins and presumably their dad. That's a much politer invitation. So, Pokéfan Colin, what do you have? Delibird. Yep, Delibird sucks. And Present Mist. Wow, can it get any worse? About the only way it could was if it wound up healing me. Oh, it's exploded on me. That must have been the absolute maximum power for Present, because I don't think Delibird's that strong. That's recovering. Of course, if I manage to get knocked out by this, I'm going to look really stupid. Wow, that's fairly powerful. I think that must have been the maximum both times. Which can happen. I was surprised it didn't backfire on it and heal me. But Sunny had enough to hold out. Credit to that Delibird for being able to pick on a Pokemon that isn't fully evolved. It's probably... Sunny is probably more around its stat level. It got lucky with Present, but we beat it in the end. Present can vary between 40, 80 and 120 base power. It can also heal the target. So who do I have alongside Sunny? Torture, that'll do. Hey, I didn't say that. Excuse me. Oh, don't you just hate it? You're trying to sneeze and then you don't. My sinuses are giving me a little bit of grief. That's right, they're not double battles. And you are going down. Irritating little... Jeez, Sunny's getting nailed with critical hits. Jeez. Oh, it has Lick and Feint Attack. How convenient. Even now, when I don't have to worry about catching you, you're still a pain in the ass. Sleep through this. And with that little moment of spite over, I'm probably going to keep Gibson in because Sunny's in a bad way, and I think Phanpy is the next Pokemon they're using. Yep, Phanpy. I think it has a similar chance to Flee as well, so if you actually manage to catch that, it's pretty good. Donphan's a fairly solid Pokemon. So I'll have to go back and heal Sunny again. She is having a really horrible time. And then we can move on. And yes, I know I said I'd try and use Sunflora, I just haven't got around to it. Sunny would take a lot less level grinding to use. So we can head downstairs there, but this is the last cabin in this area. Ah, this is the guy we ran into earlier, or who ran into him. We definitely need to help him. So head down to the lower level, and this guy. Talk to him. And we can go and find one of the sailors. We'll have to battle him, of course. Now, I think he'll appear once you've first spoken to that guy. I think he's in the cabin next to mine. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. There he is. His excuses don't quite work very well. And Machop, that should be easy for Sunny to take care of. Oh, not quite. But there we go. Well, she's gone up a couple of levels, so that's pretty good. And Machoke, we'll be able to handle that fairly easily, I'd say. It's about time I got a critical hit. Sunny has suffered a fair few. Nice work. And a random Psyduck. It's much better when you have a broader variety of moves available in later generations. And confusion of its own. So, once we defeat this guy, we will have access to the rest of the ship. Try and guess where that little girl is. Further along in the ship. If I say it immediately after, I actually take away any point to you guessing. Sorry about that. Why did he become a sailor then? Why didn't he just go for an office job? Don't think I need to heal Sunny. We should be pretty right. So we head back downstairs and this guy will let us through. And he's given us a bit of a tip. So we can move on and survey this area, sort of communal bunks, I presume. This must be the steerage section. Or whatever the lowest class on this ship is. So, Juggler Fritz has Mr. Mime. Should be able to handle it with a combination of Leech Seed and Poison Powder. Assuming it doesn't miss. Thankfully it's not doing very much damage with Double Slap. Not very good physical attack for Mr. Mime. And there we are, we can gradually grind it down. go for poison powder. There we are. How much do we get from it? Decent amount. This is going to be a bit boring, I'm sorry about that. Confusion isn't going to do very much damage, so I need to rely on status effects. There we are. It is much better when you get bug types that can learn those powder moves, and compound eyes. So I've seen all the ranges of Double Slap. It gets poisoned and drained by Leech Seed, so it's losing about a quarter of its health each turn. Plus whatever damage Confusion does, which is a bit more than I thought. Why is it just using Double Slap? I mean, I know I'm a Psychic type, but... honestly... there we are. Mr. Mime does have a somewhat sleeker build in later games. It looks kind of chubby in the first 2 generations. Magmar we are not taking on. I think Electabuzz is going to be the next one. Let's see. Let's just... Dash, let's go. Dash will take it out pretty easily. Pretty much my whole team will, except for Sunny. And one good shot with strength and it should be down. There we go. Oh, Machoke. Rightio. Sunny's forte. We will be able to get the TM for Psychic when we go to Saffron City too. Now the levels of these Pokemon are pitiful. We should be facing 40 plus opponents. There are stronger Pokemon on the road to the Pokemon League. There are stronger Pokemon in Claire's gym as well. It's a big issue. I really do wish there were stronger opponents, but there's not much we can do. So, we're going to leave Fritz to puke up his insides. We unfortunately have him facing away from the bin. Sorry about that, mate. Sailors are going to have a bit of a problem cleaning that up. And if we head down here, we have another Sailor. Well, might as well use your time constructively, as long as you're not slacking off like the other doofus we encountered. Raticate? Really? Bit of an odd choice, but... does have Pursuit, but its special attack isn't great. I think I still have to catch a Raticate. That didn't do anywhere near as much as I thought it was going to. I was half expecting a Hyper Fang to make me flinch. Quick attack. We can at least heal a little bit. And do a bit of chip damage. We should be right. Another turn. Raticate's used Pursuit, so Sunny's going to be fine. Well, unless there was a critical hit. And down it goes. I'll top up her health if I need to. Another Raticate. Don't think we're going to have much luck against that one, so I'll just use Polari. And Thundershock ought to bring it down. Still wish I had Thunderbolt or Discharge or anything like that. And there we are. So let's help Sunny and we'll be good to go. I really should be using the amulet coin. I keep forgetting to. So, anyone else around here? No? It's entirely possible this might be the sailors' quarters, but who knows? Oh good, this is an opponent. And we're battling Sea King, a fairly strong opponent for us. So let's put Leech Seed on it. That's worked pretty well. Get a bit of health back. Should we go with Hypnosis as well? Horn Attack will do a fair bit of damage. Get some health back, and Hypnosis didn't work, so I'm just going to stick with Confusion. So we're healing back most of the damage Horn Attack is doing. That's pretty good. And another critical hit in Sunny's favour. Been a fairly relaxing voyage, really. There's not really that much to talk about when you're travelling on a ship. I mean, you might go to some beautiful places, but for a lot of the time you're going to be talking about what the ocean looks like. Maybe I'm being a bit cynical, but I don't mind being able to get out and just have a good walk. And it does get a bit annoying when you're going to the same places over and over again. You like to have something different. Sorry about that. That's my temporary microphone stand sort of falling apart. So we've defeated this picnicker. And we can move on to the last area of the ship. Nothing else to see, but this is the captain's cabin. What does this book say? Can't read it. So we talk to this little girl, and she's the one that old man from earlier was looking for. I think in the remakes you do actually play with her a bit, but we've escorted her safely home. And we have a new item, the Metal Coat. The game doesn't tell you what it does. It's a hold item that powers up steel-type moves. But if you trade, you will be able to evolve Onyx into Steelix and Scyther into Caesar. And we've arrived. Whoops. So let's go and heal our team, and then we can head into Vermilion City. Can we still take a quick nap? Yes, we can. And to be honest, I've been so caught up in doing everything else that I haven't thought of a Spotlight Pokemon. I always thought Vermilion had 2 Ls. So, yeah, we don't have a Spotlight Pokemon for today, which is a little bit... well, it's a bit remiss on my part, to be honest. Almost every team member I've used has had a Spotlight. I mean, we've had the Spotlight on Torture, on Mersey, on Dash, on Polari's prior form. So you know what? I'm going to wrap up today's episode by giving you a look at Gibson and Sunny. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you in the next installment of our scenic tour through the Kanto region now, when we go to tackle the Vermilion City Gym. For now, let's have the spotlight on Gibson and Sunny to thank them for their efforts. We met Torture and Dash pretty early on. Halfway into the journey, we met the Magnemite that would become Polari and Mersey. Now it's time to have a formal introduction to Sunny and Gibson. Sandslash is one of my favourite ground-type Pokemon. I have to admit I like the design of Sandshrew and Sandslash. They look pretty tough, pretty durable. It's nothing really spectacular, but sometimes simple just works, and it does with them. I admit I do have problems with the move pool Sandshrew and Sandslash had. Their natural move pool didn't contain any ground-type moves until Generation 3, and that was the kind of pathetic Sand Tomb. Nonetheless, I've put a little bit of investment into them, and they can hit fairly hard. They have some decent bulk as well, and their speed isn't too bad compared to some ground types out there, but it's not spectacular. Nonetheless, I like their design and I've just always enjoyed using them. There's a sense of familiarity and reliability that I get from Sandshrew and Sandslash. And to be honest, I like their Alolan forms as well. I like Steel types a lot, and while the Ice type does add its defensive problems, they're nonetheless pretty dependable Pokemon even if not a lot changes in terms of their stats. The massive difference does make them pretty fun to use. And now we can get on to Execute and Exeggutor. Execute is kind of an unusual one. Its Pokédex entries tend to mention it as being seeds of some kind rather than actual eggs, even if they do tend to look like them. They act as a sort of hive mind as such, working together and occasionally seeking out new swarms if one of them gets separated. Exeggutor, on the other hand, is based on a yokai called the Jin Menju, a giant tree with human heads as fruit. The incredibly amusing Alolan Exeggutor is based not only on a palm tree, but its dragon typing is a reference to the dragon fruit. It's a very clever pun. In Generation 1, Exeggutor's incredibly high special stat, coupled with its pretty decent defense and good HP, made it really difficult to take down. However, it did have quite a few weaknesses, so if you knew how to exploit them, and can do in later generations, it's going to falter. It's not as bulky as it used to be, and it is still slow, but it has some access to some pretty good moves which can help it out along the way. I'm actually glad I've been taking the time to use Sunny, and with the Leaf Stone accessible up in Cerulean City, she's going to hold her place in the team.